So many of the most sophisticated travel brands today are really thinking about a continuous loop in that traveler journey. As we all know, coming here to Cannes, it takes a long time to actually think about taking a trip, research a trip, and ultimately book a trip. In fact, some of the research we've published through the trade desk says it's over 64 days long. So I think this traditional funnel that we keep talking about in marketing is becoming more of a loop where people are moving continuously from inspiration to research to price comparison to booking and ultimately back to booking again if they're a loyalist. So these brands that we're working with today are really rooting this strategy and identity and making sure that they're talking to Kelly and ensuring that we have a consistent message to that traveler no matter where they are in the journey, and less married to kind of, that marketing funnel we've all heard about. I think the other companies that we work with are really investing in more premium storytelling environments, connected television, which now can actually be measured in lower funnel outcomes. And that brand building is continually important as we move to a place where perhaps search is not as relevant. So that's what we're hearing from the market, really a rooting in identity, a focus on premium, and continuing to talk to the traveler with relevance across the journey.
Kelly, obviously first-party data is preeminent. We all understand the value of that, particularly in travel. So with that focus on first-party, how are travel brands using their data differently than just a few years ago?
So I think a few years ago, travel brands were really using first-party data almost defensively to continue to market to their core audience, to grow that booking volume, or to create lookalike models and prospect against that audience, but they were really keeping it within their own environments. But we are now moving to a place where not only is that happening in marketing, where they're using that to, again, talk to their existing customer base or find their next customer, but they're monetizing it outside of travel. So we've seen this rise of retail media, now we're seeing the rise of travel or commerce media, where companies like United Airlines or Marriott or Expedia or Booking are now selling this data to other categories to help grow their business models.
Travel media networks are gaining momentum along with retail media networks, along with commerce media in general, across airlines, hotels, booking platforms, as you mentioned, Kelly. Why is this becoming such an important growth area for the industry?
Again, I think we've seen the rise of retail media over the last few years. All of us have, with the likes of Albertsons or Kroger or CVS. And it's one thing to buy a new bottle of shampoo at the grocery store, but it's another thing to go on an international trip as a family. These travel companies understand people's income levels, where they live, their home address, their home airport, how they like to travel, first class, economy. Do they like to stay in the suite in the hotel or a more value-based option? Are they typically traveling for business or for leisure? Is their party size 2 or 4? This is really rich customer data that can be used to predict the next purchase outside of travel. Actually, Expedia Ads recently released a study that said the cart value from the time someone purchases a trip and actually takes that trip is over $500. And people are buying new outfits to go on vacation, signing up for a new credit card to get the loyalty points, or even thinking about buying a new automobile to take their family on a road trip this summer. So this data is really valuable to categories even outside of the travel window today, and we're really seeing that play out in the rise of these travel and commerce media networks.
Kelly, I'd like to sort of stay with the discovery part of travel for a bit. Travelers are researching across more channels, devices, and moments than ever before. How can marketers create more connected and relevant experiences throughout that journey?
I really think this goes back to having a strategy that's rooted in identity. At the trade desk, we offer a solution called UID2 that helps understand I'm Kelly across all the places where I spend time. Whether I'm watching Netflix on my couch at night or listening to Mel Robbins as I commute into work, or I'm back in bed scrolling the latest deals on a trip to Europe. And companies that are investing in that identity layer to ensure that their messages are relevant, because again, that journey is so long and across so many different devices and channels, are the ones that are winning. And then lastly, I would say the companies that use that identity layer to also power, really smart measurement, things like investing in MMM or incrementality to really understand the true business value of a booking and be able to understand even things like connected television and lower funnel outcomes like bookings.
Kelly, looking a little bit ahead, what will separate the travel brands that win in the next 5 years from those that continue to market the way they always have?
I think that the brands that, again, continue to invest in data as the biggest competitive advantage in their business strategies are ones that are going to be set up for success. We're moving away from a place where people are going in and searching for a specific property or a destination, and they're using things like chat to help inform their next trip. So surrounding that experience before someone ever even enters the chat with premium, high-value storytelling vehicles like connected television or audio, or even display and digital out of home is going to help travelers win as we move forward. And then again, companies that can continue to invest in proper measurement to value the entire path to booking and ensure that they are reaching the person in the most relevant places are those that are going to be moving forward.